welcome back, guys. Today we got with us Retroverse. This has been like what 2 years plus in the making. And
2
he's from
years,
across
yeah,
the pond, as they
easily.
say. So yeah, man, we've been wanting to have you on, and we're just trying to get our schedules and timing in line. And the stars aligned today, man. How you been?
I'm good, mate. Yeah, I'm happy to be here with the boys, the amigos. Nice.
Of
Yeah,
course.
not to be confused with the Migos, right? You're saying amigos, okay?
Yeah.
I could have said amigas if you wanted to. Yeah.
No. Yeah. Yeah, I just noticed that before we get started, those handprints in the back those are your kids?
Oh yeah,
What?
yeah. Children art,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, it must. I didn't even know they were there. I didn't have a clue. It must be my grandson Harrison. Yeah. No,
Oh,
I
nice,
didn't
man.
know. No.
That's
Oh, you're
cool.
a
No, I love
grandpa
my
too.
grandchildren. Yeah. Yeah, I've got 4. Yeah.
Oh, congrats, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, nice.
And the
That's awesome.
youngest one, Harrison. We had him last night, which is why I couldn't do the stream last night. And all of a sudden, he's 3 now, just turned 3, and he's got his shoes on his hands and saying, "I'm going to be Spider-Man climbing up the walls, Spider-Man." And I'm thinking, "Oh, for fuck's sake, Harrison! There's enough Spider-Man collectors, lad.
Yeah.
We want to be Wolverine. We don't want to be Spider-Man. Fucking, I'm tired of hearing Spider-Man. It's just like,
Oh yeah.
no, give it a
And you and
break.
Doom,
Everywhere you turn."
you and Doom are in the same team, man. He's an anti-Spider-Man guy himself, and Sergio too, I would say.
It's not anti, it's just,
Mhm.
it's just too much fanfare. Like enough with the Spider-Man stuff, Like come on. Give
Yeah,
some love
there's a lot of
to
Spider-Man
Wolverine,
propaganda.
X-Men.
Well, we talked about this, right? I think Free brought it up. I was telling him that I noticed that in the '90s, I think there was more respect put on Wolverine, but that's at the time when the X-Men animated series was out. So I think that had more popularity than even Spider-Man at the time.
How
Oh,
about Batman at the time?
Oh,
yeah,
Like
see,
Batman
now we're
animated
talking.
at the time?
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, of
Batman,
course.
Come on,
better than
boys, let's be
everything.
serious.
Yeah, come on. The
19,
GOAT. Yeah.
19, 1989, I was
Ne-
16.
mhm.
I might have been
Yeah.
smoking weed and I might have been taking natural mushrooms from the fields where I live and maybe eating them and making me cups of tea, maybe not, and drinking. And Batman 1989, it was like compact disc CDs first became popular. Well, they became huge in '89. And you got
Mhm.
like the Batman CD in the store, and you see like the gold Batman emblem. I can't even say the
Yeah.
word logo. I'll say logo, shall I?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Instead, and like the Batman animated series and the Warner Brothers studio shops. That was all at the
Mhm.
same time. Batman was the king, wasn't he? You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Batman. People
And the
still
key
sleep
thing,
on Batman a lot, but nah, man.
for anybody listening, if you notice, Retro said '89 Batman. He didn't say Batman the animated
He
series.
also
I just
said
want to
Batman
tell you.
animated. If you just rewind like 2 minutes or a minute ago, so you clearly you weren't listening.
Well, he's right here. So
Again,
Retro, who's the king? Is it Batman animated series or is it 1989 Batman?
don't
Let's just
don't do
clear that up.
that to Retro. Don't
I,
don't don't put him in the middle. Look, I love '89 as much as no, not as much as Batman animated series, but I love the '89 Batmobile as much as animated series.
Yeah,
Like at least we can
yeah,
say
yeah.
well, all I'm gonna say to you, Lucifer, right, is still remembering this day in the city where I lived in Manchester, and I walked in the music shop and I saw like all the Batman singles, Prince, and I love Prince, huge Prince fan back in the day.
yeah.
And I see all the logo and that, I'm thinking, oh shit, this is just like I've arrived. Like comic book stuff's arrived. We're here. You know what I mean? This is the biggest thing ever to come. And then I came out the music shop, saw the Warner Brothers store, which I'd never seen before, the big WB,
Yeah.
and I went in there, and my cousin was working in the store. She'd just finished university. She's in the store, and she says, "Oh yeah." I said, "This is amazing. I can't believe what's going on." She said, "No, you want to go to the back." And she went to the back, and at the back of the store, see where I came from, it was like quite a rough city.
Mhm.
So anything that cost any sort of pounds or dollars, you don't have at the front of the store.
Right.
Anything that's
Yeah.
valuable
Yeah.
goes to the back of the fucking store. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's like they're not hiding it, but like nobody's running away with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I went in, I went in the back, and there's like just like Batman animated cells with signatures on them,
Oof.
and like Batman animated artwork and that, and I'm just like, my mind's just blown. And you
Yeah.
go in, and they've got a dedicated. Get this, I've never seen it before. A dedicated like salesman in the Warner Brothers thing, and he's coming up and like they're telling you how to get lines of credit to pay for this artwork, and
Wow.
these days that wouldn't seem like so unusual, would it? But
No.
then back in
No.
the day, the Warner Brothers stores, like they really had it. Like they saw it in '89 that this could be huge. Now I
Yeah.
don't know whether that was because you like when McFarlane and Liefeld and Image Comics and that they were all coming out and they're overproducing, mass producing a lot of comics, weren't they? So I don't know whether Warner Brothers was jumping on the back of that, but yeah, the
Yeah.
animated series for that reason, elusive. I never bought the CD or the '89 Batmobile,
And you
and I
had
watched the movie, but it was
speaking of the CD, I was gonna say that Prince made that soundtrack as well. I actually made a couple songs, right? He had the party band
yeah,
with the
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson scene. Yeah, that was a cool scene as well. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the
yeah.
Warner Brothers store, man, it was short lived. At least here in the U.S., I don't know how many years it was around. Because I was maybe like 9 or 10. Um, but yeah, this
Yeah.
is the one you're talking about, by the way. Right here.
That's the one. Yeah,
Yeah.
shit, that was
Still has the
nice. Yeah.
Warner Brothers logo with the original price right there for you.
That's
And the
crazy.
Batwing as well. Did you get the Batwing as well?
No, no, I'm not from that set. I've always just been a Batmobile guy.
Okay.
There's one set, and it's a Bandai set, otherwise known as Charo wheels in Japan, and that one
Mm.
has the Batwing on it, but
Yeah.
and the Joker car, the
And the
Monaco.
Joker car. Yeah. That's nice too.
Because they were so cool. They were just like just something. I mean, there've been Superman movies before, wouldn't they? But let's have it
Yeah.
right. Unless you're an hard and fast American, and if you've listened to the podcast that I do kind of take the piss out of Americans every now and again because it's just like busting balls. You know what I mean? It's just like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh yeah, this is some clown who's been invented in 1950 for like propaganda against communism and this, that, the other. He's 6'2" and he's white and his greased back hair and this, that, the other. And he's a fucking alien. He's boring. Like it's like, oh yeah, Superman, you can't kill him. It's like, oh come on, fuck off. You
Yeah,
know
get
what
the
I mean?
fuck out of here with this Superman shit. It's Batman. Yeah, come on, Lucifer.
Yeah, it's just like,
Shout out to your boy Sal, who's a big time Superman guy. But we all know the truth. It's Batman all day. Like
It is
let's not
crazy.
do that.
Now that you guys point out, it is crazy that Superman also happens to have some of the same colors or shares the same colors with Spider-Man, huh? Right?
Yeah,
I feel
yeah, that's
like
true. That's true.
there's some there. It's kind of like
There's
when we're talking about how
some
Miles
similarities.
got the Batman Beyond stuff colors. Yeah, there's
Yeah,
definitely some similarities except for the yellow.
Batman and Miles comparison is pretty
Pretty
crazy.
accurate, right?
Yeah,
Because they're both like the
it's
newer
like a different
versions of their old
new generation.
hero.
Definitely. I know Batman Beyond was like started in '99, I believe. That's when the cartoon or either cartoon or the comic came out first. But yeah, definitely has similarities to that.
Yeah.
yeah,
And
but
different design.
wasn't the Spider-Man thing like another all American bullshit? What didn't Ditko first? Was it? No, it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't Ditko who did him first. Was it supposed to be purple and orange? He wasn't
Mm,
supposed to be red and blue Spider-Man, was he?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm not sure on that one. I will say though that again, I think
No.
the team that a lot of collectors, some collectors obviously love, like shout out to my homie Sal, like you were saying, shout out to Pancake who collects Captain America, but I feel they're all the same thing. Superman, Spider-Man, and Captain America are very similar in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Altruistic. You know what I mean?
And
They represent.
yeah, I don't know. Look, just Spider-Man, I just never related to it. Growing up, I never checked out the cartoon. Like it never caught my attention. It was always X-Men or Batman, and that's all it was. And Ninja Turtles too.
Yeah, Ninja Turtles.
That's all
Yeah,
it
Ninja
was.
Turtles
I
stuff.
like I like Spider-Man. I mean, I've got some Spider-Man comic slabs. Do like Spider-Man, but I like him. I think it's like I like the comics when I was younger. I like the animation when I was younger, and I thought it was cool. And I think I collect it because I thought it was cool then.
Hmm.
But as I got older, as I got to maybe 14, 15, and like I turned into an adult, which some people haven't done, I was just like, yeah, I still like
Wow.
Spider-Man, but I
Shots
just like,
fired.
Oh no, this is very true. A ton of well, you know what? I'm just gonna leave it there. It's Easter Sunday. I'm not gonna go all in, but yeah, definitely a lot of people need to grow up for sure.
no, I still love Spider. I must admit, and like when I saw the first Spider-Man film, I was disappointed with Tobey Maguire. I just thought, ah, he's too. And I've got to say, like, I've never really been that disappointed in a lot of Batman films, which is like why I like the Batman
Yeah,
movies, we should call them. I mean, obviously we're busting balls about other stuff and that a bit like, you know what I mean? But it's like
yeah,
you came out, you had Michael Keaton, you had Jack Nicholson, you had Tim Burton, and you had the animation series that was still there knocking about, and then you had the cars, and it was just like the Prince soundtrack. Kim Basinger, who I don't like, I don't like tall white blondes. I'm more like small dark
yeah.
Hispanic girls myself. Uh, and it was
For
just like
sure.
all of it was yeah, all of it was amazing, wasn't it? It was just
Yeah, yeah.
like, shit,
Yeah,
what is this?
the Catwoman suit and how that came about, right? How she was like sewing it together. It seemed. Yeah, I was like, oh, that's
She's
crazy.
iconic, right? Michelle Pfeiffer, iconic
Yeah.
Catwoman. It's just a lot of
Oh, yeah, yeah,
that world, the whole world, the noir feeling. Like to me, that's the stuff that really resonates with me.
Yeah, that and speaking of like all the iterations that came afterwards, like I'm not it wasn't really horrible, but I'm not a fan of the newest one. I think the best besides the '89 has to be as far as cinematography, it has to be the Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy, the
Oh
Dark
yeah,
Knight, Dark Knight
yeah,
Rises. He's just on a
yeah.
different level. That guy doesn't miss, by the way. If you see all the movies he comes up with, I mean, yeah, he's just shooting threes.
yeah, man.
Well, me and Jay, my son, we were talking yesterday, and my son's like 27, and I always bang on about he was like a pro Xbox player and that, but
Hmm.
that's because we grew up as mates. So like we watched the Batman movies, watched the animation.
Yeah,
We played on the Xbox together. We played Gears of Wars together. We played like FIFA together, and so we've grown up as mates all the way through everything.
right.
And
Yeah.
it came round the other day, and we were looking at like Disney and stuff, and we just said, "Shall we watch Black Panther?" And he said, "No." I said, "Have you seen such a thing? Shall we watch that?" And we said, "No." And he said, "What about Ant-Man? We're looking forward to that." And we are both like, "Nah." I said, "Have you seen Love and Thunder?" "Nah." And it's like, "What have you watched, Dad?" I said, "I've watched The Crow. I've watched Blade 1, 2, and 3. I've watched Batman." And Jay came out with straight away, he said, "What we need is a Christopher Nolan movie. We need a hard, gritty,
Yeah,
possibly X-Men. Doesn't have
Ooh.
to
yeah,
be X-Men,
yeah,
but
Yeah.
like a gritty Nolan movie, and
Yeah.
it needs to be Marvel characters. It's alright having Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, and it needs to be Marvel characters that people know enough and that are gonna be big enough that it's gonna
Mhm.
give people more interest in my eyes, obviously, because I like X-23. But say you got like X-23 and Daken, who were quite evil and quite naughty like, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
I think that could be a good storyline. I mean, Deadpool's comedy, the Avengers were all tired of seeing, Spider-Man we're all tired of seeing.
yeah,
The Fantastic Four, I
Mhm.
reckon you'd have to like hit a Doom story.
Mhm.
yeah,
Maybe not the you'd have to start with the Doom origins, I suppose, but jump over the origins really quick. Go
yeah,
over how like he's making the machine for his mum and to bring her back and the gyps, but do all that stuff quick
yeah,
and then get into grittiness. But
yeah.
yeah, Christopher Nolan though. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. What do you
Yeah.
two think? What? Yeah,
Yeah. He has a movie coming up that he's working with Cillian Murphy, the Oppenheimer.
Oh yeah,
If you heard
Oh,
of
it's
that.
good.
that's crazy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, come on, that's right up your alley. Peaky Blinders, right? You don't watch the Peaky Blinders retro?
Mm. Yeah, yeah, of
No?
course, yeah.
Yeah, that's a great series,
And
man.
Lucy's
We
obsessed.
love it on the
Yeah,
US. Yeah, we
yeah.
like it
Lucy's
over here, man.
obsessed with it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Well, if
good.
you've watched Peaky Blinders, you need to search out SAS Rogue Heroes. So it's the same creators of the Peaky Blinders, and they play like rock music to it. So it's the history of how the SAS started during
Ah,
World War One, World War Two. Excuse me. But it's really like a really nutty story, whereas like the government didn't want them to start the SAS, and they were just like rogues, and they went up in a plane and threw a load of people out of Africa. Most of them died, and like yeah, it's just it's like Peaky Blinders, all the story of the SAS, and it shows you like real. So like you get parachuters and normal people, like they teach them how to parachute and that. And the
mhm.
SAS, when they learned, they just pushed them off the back of a truck.
Oh
Then they
shit,
made a wooden tower and shoved them off the back of
that's
that.
crazy.
But they've still got the old black and white movie footage of this,
Oh
and
wow.
they slipped that in the SAS Rogue Hero story. Oh, it's proper nuts. They're all like, they, they got everybody out of jail and got all the strange people and the murderers and the killers and the assassins, and so if you can get a hold of it where you are, that's like it's cool. Yeah, it's good.
Hey, I
Yeah,
had a
for
question
sure.
for you, Retro, because I know what makes it difficult from what I hear everybody in the UK for collecting is obviously the shipping. But besides the shipping, how is there any type of like community around uh, hobbies out there? Like whether it's Marvel, Pokemon, diecast, can you go to a card show over there, or is there not a lot of that going on?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's more card shows in the northwest of England. Gingy, if you're listening, wanker, you only have two here in London, so-called capital. So in the northwest, where I live,
Yeah.
there's uh there's one every quarter at the minute, so that's four to go at. And it's mainly Pokemon and sports, but
Okay.
still good, there are some Marvel cards there that pop up.
Mhm.
And there's maybe two or three decent sized ones in the country. And then, I mean, there's also comic book shows that you can get, even regional, even like within my area. There's maybe one a month, but they're
Okay.
not very big. And the problem is, when I don't know what it's like in the US. The problem is in the UK, when you look at the comic books, a lot of them. So you go and they've got a ton of long boxes, and like the
Yeah.
long boxes, the comics are all packed up really tight, and you can't like get your fingernails in to get a book out to look.
Yeah.
But you look at them, and a lot of them don't really know what's in the long boxes, because in this country at the minute, it's all about modern books. So
Mm.
they're all grading the modern books, and like a mate of mine, the comic shop I go to, he's just got stacks of long boxes and Silver Age upstairs in the back of his shop, and nobody's interested.
Wow.
Nobody cares. Nobody like wants to see these books and parts of history. And it's like when Sergio was on the other day, and he was messaging him today about the con, and
Yeah.
he said on your last podcast, he said people just like actors' signatures, and like I don't know any actors like
Yeah. Yeah.
besides very big ones. I mean, somebody mentioned the other day on our podcast, and we do this thing, Celebrity Slot, which I've been wanting to do for a while, but I've been waiting until just the right time, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And somebody said, Pedro such a body, and I had to say, I don't know who that is. And it was like, oh, it's the Mandalorian. I said, yeah, have you not watched it? Well, yeah, I've watched the Mandalorian, but I don't give a fuck who he is like. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
Pedro Pascual. Yeah.
that's it, is it? And for diecast, huge, huge. I
Oh,
mean, you've got guys over it, but it's mainly Matchbox toys. So Matchbox
Yeah.
were before Hot Wheels,
hmm
I think, or the Hot Wheels first, and then Matchbox. Maybe Matchbox were later. I can't remember.
You guys have a brand out
But
there
Match.
for diecast called Bub, right? BUB.
Oh, I haven't seen Bob. No, is that
That Those are
No, okay.
187 scale, and you guys have some nice pieces. I've got some pieces from that I've ordered from the UK, and yeah, that's the brand BUB
187.
187 scale.
Wow.
Well, I
Yeah,
know the Matchbox ones, people, they do like what we were talking about before, like they respray the cars and they change the wheels on the cars. And you've even got guys over here who like match the Matchbox car to a real car. So
Yeah.
they'll have the real car, and I'm talking like maybe like you have Ford Capris in the US, do you? Ford Capri, Ford
Mhm.
Escort.
yeah.
Mhm.
So they'd have like a 1972 Ford Capri, and they'll get the car as well. They'll get the life size car and do it up and get it sprayed all to original and get the Matchbox cars that
Yeah.
match it as well.
To match
Because
it.
they were painted in some of them were painted in the same original paint as they used for the Ford car,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
which is
That's a
wild,
flex.
which is
Is
amazing.
it-
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Ultimate
it is.
flex, yeah.
Yeah, it is. For sure.
So Doom has
Yeah.
Elusive got a tumbler in the back of his garage like, or what do you think?
Like, I wouldn't put it past him, but he definitely hasn't shown me if he does,
Yeah.
you know.
He's got
that's
a
that's in
Batman
case shit hits the
tumbler
fan in
going
the
on,
US.
hasn't
He definitely has like a Batcave situation going on. Like, he's very secretive about stuff, you know.
Yo, in case I
he?
need to,
You gotta be.
make my way to Mexico, I got dual citizenship, dog. That's all I gotta say. If shit hits the fan here, I'm going to Mexico, having a good time. You guys could catch me out there. Guess what? I could mail cards from over there too. You know, I ain't playing
Yeah.
this World War III shit.
Yeah, Retro. We know who to call. You know, we gotta make a quick escape. You know,
It's where we're
Yeah.
going, isn't it?
open up the Batcave, man. Let's go.
Yeah, I can't. I will
Fucking
say though, I can't make a detour to Texas. Because I got my family with me. But if you want to come through,
Wow, that's
you could jump on. Is what
crazy.
I'm saying.
You're just gonna let me, just fucking get bombed over here, huh? That's crazy.
No, I mean you're protected. You already know that, dog. You're gonna
You
be
know
good.
what? Shout out Sergio. I'll just hit up Sergio. We'll go to Florida. It's fucking crazy over there, anyways. Let's just do it.
That's even longer. That's a longer
They
way
got
there,
zombies
man. I
over
don't
there.
know.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I
it's
wouldn't
not
want
gonna
to be
be
in Miami.
it's not gonna be fucking safe in Mexico anyway, is it? It's not.
No, it's
Hey,
not.
don't tell them that, Retro.
We're
Let them know
all,
that, man.
if it gets there, we're all fucked.
I
Yeah.
know it's not. Jay told me. So like when Jay was playing Xbox and he went to Mexico City, he's been twice,
Mm.
Yeah.
and I was really excited that he was going to Mexico City. Obviously, I was living in Spain at the time,
Yeah.
and I'm living like a lot of people live in Gibraltar. I didn't want to live in like Gibraltar, the English thing, so I lived in Spain, and that's like the wild, wild west. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And he said, "Oh, I'm excited for you, Jay, Mexico City." He said, "I'm excited for Mexico City as well." Like, and my son is like 5'2", white as a sheet, with blonde hair. He looks almost albino, like you can't see his eyelashes and one of them sort of thing, like. And so he's in this place, which I think the hotel's above the top of a mall. This hotel, wherever it is in Mexico City, I don't know. So like, he's hanging. Obviously, he's got like Mexican mates. He's got American mates, which are black, white, mixed race, whichever, whatever sort of thing. So they
Yeah.
go to the events and that, and like, they're all right. The Mexican kids are showing him around the town and they're going for a beer and that.
Yeah.
He said, anyway, I was thirsty, like, so they went downstairs for a drink and said, just went into the normal, like, shop where you buy, we call it a news agents, where you just buy, like, your cans of Coke and your magazines and this, that, the other.
Yeah.
He said, the guy at the front's got a fucking shotgun. I said, "You what, Jay?" He said, "Yeah, I went in." Oh, sorry, he just got off the plane. Actually, that was it. He just got off the plane, put his suitcase in the room. He said, "I went down for like a bottle of Coke."
Yeah.
So the guy's got a shotgun. He said, "I'm looking, thinking, oh shit, is there something going on?" He said, I think you might have said to him like, "Is everything all right?" He said, "Yeah, yeah, just go in, get your drink, like what's you know what I mean?" And he said, then that was it. Then
Yeah.
they went up, they came down, they waited for an Uber to go for a few beers before the event, actually, because they had media days. He says, so me and my mate, he said, my mate's like a bit dark skinned and dark hair, he said, but I'm stood there, like, he said, there's no Where's Wally situation here. He said, I'm shining like a beacon. He said, it's 9, 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
He said, we're
Yeah.
stood on the front, two English guys, Said, "We know where we're going to. We know we're going meeting like our Mexican mates, and we'll be sound when we get there. It'll all be good."
Yeah.
He said, "I'm just looking round, thinking, oh fuck. You know, I hope this Uber turns up quick. I hope it turns up quick." And he said they got to the bars and the clubs. He said it was all amazing, but
Yeah.
I think like a gun was pulled and somebody got shot at in the club. I think the
That
second
makes
time
sense.
he went,
Yeah.
somebody else got shot at somewhere as well. He said, but Mexico City, he said he didn't like the food. He said, but I just loved it, and the nuts for Gears of War there because when they go in, they're signing autographs, Jay, and the squads and that, and they just love that game and like shotguns so much. And
Yeah.
but yeah, he loved it. He loved the city. Yeah, yeah. Said it was
That's great.
nuts though, real nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely
Hey.
a reputation for like, getting stuff stolen, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of crime.
He also happened to go to it's kind of like going to Chicago right now. Like that's the worst part. Some of the worst part, other than like somewhere where like the cartels are at, some cities closer to the north. Other than that, that's not a great spot. You know what I mean? He should have gone to like Guadalajara, or if he wanted to go to Cancun. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, man. Just hit
yeah.
up the
Yeah,
ranch, like the real outdoors where it's just
Hmm.
quiet. Yeah.
Yeah, because obviously
yeah.
they protect all where all the tourists are at. Like the cartels
Yeah.
won't get involved there, so you'll have a good time. But hey, he got to see what it really is. You know what I mean? So
He like yeah, but it was no different when he went to America. Shit, this is supposed to be a Marvel show, isn't it? Really, but he
Yeah.
went to Columbus his first time gaming. So it did, and he went to Columbus for however long that was. And I'm driving home or something, and I hear on the radio a plane's crashed over Columbia, and like instantly my phone starts ringing, not stop ringing. It's Andy. Said, I'm worried. I said, what? I said, there's a plane crashed over Columbia in J. Oh no, the shooting it was, wasn't it? No, there was a shooting actually. The
Mm.
university near Columbus, and he was like a few miles away from that.
Yeah.
Then he went to Paris, an event just after that, and they declared martial law around the city, and they
Oof.
shut the city down, and like they was all running around them with guns and this, that, the police.
Yeah.
He went to London, somebody got stabbed just where he was staying. And it was like every city that the Gears players went to, and it was funny because if you know Gears of War, it's
Yeah.
like the most
yeah,
Yeah. It's
and
crazy.
everywhere they went, there was just like mass violence. It was mad as fuck. Like it was really
no
fucking
coronation
funny,
though,
yeah.
obviously. You know what I mean?
Not
Uh,
none of it was, no, but
uh,
when I ask him to this day and we still laugh about it, he
Yeah.
said, "Yeah, oh, he went to Las Vegas. There was a shooting in Las Vegas, wasn't there? You know, when he was
Yeah.
on the
It's a big
hotel."
one. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a Gears event there as well. Yeah, so the Columbus shooting,
Yeah.
Gears event, Las Vegas shooting, Gears event, Paris, they blocked it all off and had all the army out with the guns and that, Gears event. Yeah, serious, yeah, serious, just fucking funny.
Yeah. It's
So it
like a
wasn't just
life.
the fact that
Yeah. It's a life
yeah,
experience of violence. It's just crazy.
yeah. So I'm getting at it wasn't just Mexico City. I'm just not saying,
yeah,
oh, Mexico City was everywhere the boys went, every
yeah,
city. It was fucked. He went to Houston or Dallas, wherever they went, the event
Yeah.
was. And I said, "Oh God, yeah, tell me there was no violence." And no, there was no violence. I said, "But there's like people begging and like old women just having the shit in the road and like people just fucking." He said, "It's just out there. The poverty was
Yeah.
just fucking nuts."
Yeah.
I
No, it
think
gets crazy.
the only place there was never anything stupid happened was San Diego.
Hmm.
And they went and
oh yeah,
chilled
because they're
out in
chill.
San Diego for a week. And, yeah, and just loved it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, San Diego's awesome, man. It's like an hour away from me. That's one of my favorite spots as well. The whole vibe is different out there, so yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so you still gaming with him every now and then? You still playing some games, or is he still doing it, or what is he doing now?
No, he
Your son.
doesn't now. No. Uh, his game stopped. COVID killed his game, basically.
Hmm.
Uh, the traveling and this, that, the other, it just killed the game for because it wasn't as big as Call of Duty, and
Right.
that's when we got into like buying and selling cards and this, that, the other. And now he ended up just like, well, he was a trainee accountant while he was still gaming anyway, and they just let him fly every 3 months. You know what I mean? But he's just doing that now. He doesn't play too much. Still good.
Yeah.
He's still very good. I mean, I watched him play COD, and he's playing like with Scump and Jerd and all them sort of people, and he can hit his shots. He can hit his shots as good as them. He
Yeah.
just doesn't know the game and hasn't lived in the game as much as they have, so it's, you know, too much of a competition. But
Yeah.
yeah, he still plays a bit.
Nice. Scump, you're talking about? I think I've heard that name. That's Optic Scump. You talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, the ginger. He's a ginger, right?
Yeah.
The player. Yeah, he's
Well,
really good, man. He's been good for a long time.
well, Optic, they just took over. They took over COD, didn't they? Gears of War, the Optic team won near enough everything.
Hmm.
Funnily enough, a Mexican guy who owns Optic, isn't it? Hector
Hector Rodriguez, I believe. Yeah,
Rodriguez. Yeah. I
Nice.
think he was
smart
big
guy.
into Gears. That's why. Aye.
Yeah, smart guy. The way he branded himself and branded
Oh,
the team.
super,
And he
super
was doing it when
smart.
esports wasn't what it is now. So
Yeah.
he's one of the OGs for sure.
Yeah. Cool. Really cool.
Doom, how about you, man? You got any questions for Retro? I know
I
we've
mean,
been.
look, we always have questions for a new guest, and that's the 3-card experiment. Retro. You
Oh
know,
shit.
you're a listener of the show. Great. We caught him off guard too. Nice. This is gonna be fun. So, Retro, you've heard the show. We watched The Last of Us, The World Is Ending type of scenario. You gotta choose 3 cards from your collection that you're gonna save. And the rest, the history's gonna be gone, the cards is gonna be, flamed, everything's gonna basically be destroyed. But you choose 3. What are your top 3?
You know what? I knew this was coming, and I was fucking looking. I've been out for a family meal for 70th birthday.
Yeah.
And I was fucking looking for 25 minutes before like we came on, and I was just like, oh shit, I like this. Oh shit, I like this. Oh shit, I like this. Oh fuck, I like this.
I'm
It's
right
tough,
there
Have we
with you,
man.
got to be
man.
mad?
We only got 3 though. I'm right there with you though.
It's
Have they
tough,
got to be
man.
Marvel cards?
No.
Could I pick
Hmm.
could
It
I
could
could I
any
cheat?
yeah, it could be
Could,
any
could,
any type of card.
could I cheat now then?
I mean,
And
elusive cheats all the time. We will allow it for sure.
okay, so right. So what I'm gonna grab is my Pokemon Pikachu 2010 World Championships cards,
Nice.
which is a set of 9, and I've got them all in PSA 10 in consecutive numbers.
Ooh, nice.
So
Yeah.
for anybody who doesn't know what that is, you'll have to do your fucking research, won't you? Because you ain't having it off me anyway.
Yeah. People listening, go fucking do your Googles. We're not here to spell it out for y'all.
Just do what I did. I'm not telling you what to buy. Fucking hell, there's enough people who do that. Nah. All right, I'm just ball busting. Basically, it was like the Olympics time. So for the 9 cards, there's a different nation. So there's an American card that's written in American,
Hmm.
a Portuguese card written in Portuguese, and this,
Nice.
that, the other. But there's also another World Championship set. But yeah, I'm not getting into that. I've said enough. But yeah, I'll take that
Yeah.
because I looked through everything else and I was like, oh shit. I was like, I've got like the Dak and X-Men Metal series cards that I love. And I'm looking through like X-23. I'm looking at it now. The hollow X-23 that went for big money from the
The
Messiah
hologram.
comic book, the beginnings one, sorry, yeah.
Oh
Hmm.
yeah.
Well, that's if you did like I did a few years ago and you bought like tons of base sets, you would have come across the heroes and villains base set, which has got that card with Lady Deathstrike in it. And
Mm-hmm.
there's like the base one, I think it's called the Silver Parallel, and it's a really cool image. And I'm looking at that thinking, oh shit, yeah. Then I'm looking at like crystal clear Marvel gems, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, but that's
Oh
nice.
yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I was looking at. I've got. Oh shit! Let me show you. Actually.
Wow, that's crazy because I thought you were an X-23 collector. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna get in shit over this, aren't I? So it's what is it? Spider-Man number 25, Delato, Miles Morales,
Hmm.
the card and cover, and it was the first.
Oh yeah,
No, maybe the second comic book I ever bought and it's got the Delato matching card.
yeah. The COA is like a card, right? Yeah,
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 that's
yeah,
dope.
yeah,
That's a
yeah.
dope
that's
model.
really cool.
I mean
Yeah.
the books at CGC, but when I got that, a lot of people didn't know about that, you know,
Mhm.
because and I've seen people put. I told a lot of people about it,
Yeah.
and at the time. I was eBaying people, you know, who's selling the book, and I was saying, surely you don't want the card. Can you not sell me the card separately? But like, nobody go for it. They said, no, it's a COA for the book, and that. I was like, oh come on.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember.
but
I remember that. I know Justin talked about it once, but it was months before that. People were already trying to scoop them up.
Yeah, shout out to
yeah.
Brian, Marvel Cards
Shout out
Up.
to Brian.
He's the one who put me onto those. And to your point about the COAs, I did get lucky with the San Diego Comic Con Mandalorian, where I
Yeah,
was able to get the 2 cards
those are
without
nice.
buying the comics.
Those
So
are
there was
The
a
nice.
comic
Adigranoff,
guy that yeah,
Wait,
that one,
wait,
the
were
Adigranoff.
the
Adigranoff.
were the Mando ones as limited as the Spider-Man one? Because I believe it was like 800 or so. No, for the Spider-Man.
So for
Yeah, it
the
was.
black and white, it was only 400 on the Star Wars Mandalorian, and for the
Oh.
color, it's 800.
Wait, you didn't get the comic book with it?
No, I
Oh,
got
see,
both the cards.
you
You know, I'm
slipped
more of
on
a
that
card
one,
guy.
dog. You slipped on that one.
There was a banana peel, bro. I couldn't miss it.
You slipped.
You
I
know, I was
tried to
playing
get
Mario
them.
Kart.
Yeah,
When
those are nice.
I looked, and it was just the shipping. Like the shipping would kill me. It's just like, oh
Yeah.
fuck no, the shipping will kill me.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, I feel bad for you, man. When I hear like how hard it is to get some stuff, I'm like, man, that's rough. You know what I mean? Because you're almost like forced to play aftermarket prices on anything that you're trying to get, right? Like whether it's any type of release online.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't. I've only ever opened one Marvel hobby box, and that was a Marvel anime box. And I
Ooh.
Have
opened
you?
3 Flare Ultra blasters a couple of weeks ago. Besides that, and like tons of 90s packs that I
Yeah.
got before I knew anybody in the hobby. That's it. Yeah, that's all.
Speaking of '90s, what's your favorite '90s set from the masterpieces?
92.
'92.
But I also
Okay.
I love 93
Yeah.
because you've got different artists in it rather than just a juice score. But I think because I came across 92 first, I think that stuck with me.
Yeah,
I mean,
92 special.
95. I like 90. I like 95, which I think is slept on a bit. 96, I think is shit. I like the Weapon X.
Yeah.
There's a couple of other cards I do like in it. 93. No, I don't like 96. No, I'm not the only
94 to
person to
me,
say that.
when I first started researching and just getting into 94, the Hildebrandt set was really the one that I was really after.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you know what I've just done? I had like the 94 master set, and I've just sold. Well, I've still got a set of silver holofoils left, but I've just sold a set of silver and gold holofoils. And I
Nice.
thought, oh shit, should have sold the gold holofoils, but anyway, I've done it.
Yeah.
Yeah, already done.
But
Yeah.
I've still got the rest. Yeah, it's a cool set. Yeah.
The gold signatures, you just don't see them in high grades that often.
Is that not too
Yeah.
shiny for you though, Doom? 94
No,
MA.
not that one. It's just, the signatures are always let those pass by. If a shiny
Yeah.
card is designed well, I'll look the other way. I'll let it slide. It's all the
Good
ugly
Okay.
man.
shiny shit that people overpay for that I judge people and you spent all that money on that. Okay, I know who you are.
Shall I tell you
Yeah.
something now? You're talking about ugly shiny shit.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at it now. bear in mind I'm an X-23 collector.
Yeah.
I love Bianchi.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah, allegedly. A saga. I've got an X-23 saga going on. Yeah, well, you got to tell people I did sell my green high series PMG,
Oh,
so I
yeah.
can't be that big of an not that big of an
No, look,
X-23 collector.
sometimes we gotta get rid of some of those shiny cards, you know. But you know, it happens.
Yeah, but I'm looking at it now, and I've got uh the speckle, and I'm looking at it, and I really wanted the speckle, and every time I look at it, I just think it's all right, but
Yeah,
it's just like all shine. And
yeah.
originally, I wanted the kaleidoscopes, and I got offered the kaleidoscope, and Bianchi had signed it, but it was one of them like, "Ah, all right, Bianchi signed it. I might as well fucking sign it because he's signing a big thick gold
The
pen."
thick one, yeah, it's not even like all
Yeah,
the way colored in. It's like shades of it.
and
Yeah,
yeah, and I got offered it, Doom, and like I got offered it for a really reasonable price.
yeah,
There's not often people do offer me stuff at a reasonable price, if they do at all.
yeah,
And I saw it and I thought, fuck me, there's 25. Before I'd even seen the signature, I thought, with a kaleidoscope here, there's 25, and Bianchi signed the kaleidoscope. I thought instantly before I see the card, there's 24.
yeah.
There's now 24. And then I seen it with this big fat fucking gold signature, just like it knocked me sick for about like at least a day or two. You know what I mean? I just
Yeah.
thought, oh, that's fucked up. That's fucked up.
Yeah,
And
I've
I've seen
noticed
a
that.
lot.
Yeah, I've noticed that someone in the group did that. The first time I seen it personally was on the canvas cards from Bianchi. Someone got a full set
Okay, yeah.
signed, and to your point, whatever Sharpie or pen they used, it was too thick. Like the signature looks bad when it's
Yeah.
thicker. Like the signature he did on like on the silver spectrums and the what ifs, very nice.
The
But his
the,
signature
the
on those
Yeah,
problem
I've got
icons,
some, yeah. Yeah.
the
yeah,
problem with that is because like it didn't fill in the whole, like the marker, the stroke didn't fill in all the color, so you would get like in and out of shades. But then you see someone like, Alonso went to the Bianchi in Florida, and he got it like with nice Posca markers. That stuff, yeah, when
yeah.
it's done right, it's done right.
Yes, correct, yeah.
You need some high
Yeah.
quality pins.
But
Yeah.
let this be a lesson because it also points out the fact that Retro's not really an X-23 collector, right? Because he would have picked that auto out of 25.
See, I didn't take it the same way. Elusive's being
That's
real spicy today.
I mean that's what I mean. I don't know, man. That's
Just
what
be,
I heard. And then in the top three cards, you got Pikachu, you got this and that, but I never even heard X-23. He thought about an X-23.
see, this is what happens, Retro. The people who don't have like a one character, they just like
Oh
to
wow,
take shots at everyone who has a, you know, real clear what they want. They're over there
really
searching
clear.
through all these
You're
characters, like, oh,
hey,
let me get three of
your
these, and
full name
then
must be Clarity over here, huh?
yeah, y-
Shit.
they're a little bit envious of people who know what they want. That's all this is.
Doom,
That
Doom,
makes sense.
Doom, Doom, don't feel bad of me, mate. I love you and I respect you and I love everything you do and like your collections and the way you are. Don't disrespect me, but I'm never in my ever born days gonna buy a Marvel Masterpieces 2020 X-23.
Oh no,
Fucking hate it.
I understand you. No,
Never gonna buy it.
look,
There's
You're
there's
not in
cards
the
I will not buy.
no, there's certain cards
well.
that I would never own from Doom. It's just it is what it is. Like I'm moving on.
Are
Like
you the same as well, Doom? Yeah. Do you
yeah,
feel like that? You look at artwork and you think, why would I buy that just to like fit to? No,
well,
I don't want them. I don't
yeah.
want them.
Well, at first when I know me and Lucifer started talking, I was going after everything. And then,
Uh-huh.
he would talk some sense into me, like, well, yeah, but that card, this doesn't look that great. I'm like, no, you're right. Why did I spend all this money on it? So yeah, over time, I've just been more and more selective to the point now where I stripped it all the way, and I'm considering maybe adding this one, maybe this one. Maybe I was too harsh, but yeah, definitely like there's a lot of duds out there. There's a lot of misses on Marvel cards, And especially Gambit. Like I know Elusive's in the Gambit saga now. There's a lot of bad Gambits out there. A lot of
there
them.
is.
Shout out to Charles
There
though.
is.
Shout out to you, bro.
Yeah. I mean, someone's got to enjoy the bowl cut Star Lord. It's got to be him.
He's got like all the
yeah.
PMGs. Someone needs to own them. So shout out to Charles. For sure.
So
Yo, Charles,
where
hit me
you
up, man. I still got the diamond. To go with, I'm saying to go with his rainbow. What do you want to start out of 10?
Oh, right, can I moan? Because you haven't asked me the question. Like you usually say, what's been pissing you off this week?
Oh,
So can I have a
fucking?
You've just meant. Well, I hate the fucking world anyway, so it doesn't matter, does it? You just mentioned then rainbows, right? Please, 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 anyone who's listening this, do not post me. Well, not to me, like personally. Please do not post on anywhere, any social media. I've got a red PMG, I've got an orange, a blue, a pink, a turquoise, a brown, a mauve, a beige, and whatever the other fucking parallels are, and say, this is my rainbow. It's not a fucking rainbow. Now, with that X-23 green I sold, if I would have had the purple FX, printing plates would different matter because getting the full set of printing plates is
crazy.
That's hard, isn't it? You might not ever do that.
Yeah.
But please, please, please don't tell me you've got a rainbow because you've got a red PMG and everything else and below it. And I'm not a rainbow fucking snob, but if it's a rainbow, it's got to be like
gotta be the
it's
whole
everything,
deal,
isn't it?
It's gotta be the whole deal. If you got like let's say a mini rainbow, I don't know. There's gotta be a name for that. Look.
Wow, you guys are elitist, man. So none of my rainbows count.
Look, people love to collect the way they want to collect. That's fine, but like to me, rainbows are overrated. Well, look, a lot of Marvel cards are overrated. Yeah, let's not even talk about it.
Well, look, I don't know.
I'll tell you what rainbows I like. I like my little royal foil rainbows because you just got out of 10, out of 25, out of 99, and and I suppose you could say that's not a rainbow because it's only 3 cards, but it's like, well, it is really.
Yeah, if it's the full set of that full parallel set of that. I mean, that stuff's always cool to see, but yeah, it's overrated to collect all that. It's like the amount of money it takes to do something like that now is stupid. Go buy some original art.
No,
go do something else.
That's exactly it to my point, which I sold a lot of stuff and probably will continue to do so.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I mean, I've got rid of a lot of PMGs recently. And quite a lot of X-23 PMGs. Because I'm thinking, I've got maybe like 30, 40, 50, 60 of the same image. I've got like the 9.8 book, I've got the 9.4 book, and I'm thinking, why the fuck do I need all these? And I can sit on them and get value, but there isn't really money in the bank. It isn't, and I could get so much more enjoyment by selling them and being fluid and getting liquid cash and picking up like shout out to Sergio. It is MonsterInTheIronMask, isn't it? I always forget his fucking Instagram name.
That's his latest Instagram account.
From crypto. And
you gotta be careful with crypto, man. You'll start collecting the data.
That's his saga, isn't it? It's his latest saga.
And
shout out to Free Comics for like hooking me up with like original art shit, and I don't mean selling it to me. I mean just show me a light and show me websites and links and.
Oh man, he showed me some videos, like art, like live videos where you can claim. It's different.
You want to talk about research?
Yeah, that's what I saw.
You're talking about Free is on another level with the comic stuff and the original arts.
Yeah.
Fucking hell! Have you seen has Free shown you the YouTube video? I think the guy might be hodling comics or something, where they're talking about Blade. Has he shown you? You need to ask Free about that video.
He sent me a video where they had a podcast and it was like 4 collectors and it was everything about Blade. The whole conversation was going on about Blade.
And he's in it too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That shit is next
crazy.
level, isn't it?
Ghost books
That's
that
just like
Yeah.
yeah you don't see, and they got like 13 or 20 of them because they scooped them all up. Yeah, it's different. That's some different stuff right there.
Yeah, going back to what you said earlier about Palumbo, because for whatever reason, and not to say anything rude, but yeah, I've seen that across since I've been collecting. Like that's probably the least liked Marvel Masterpiece set from the modern sets for sure. I mean, the way he
yeah,
did
it's not.
Wolverine,
In
he
some
looks
circles,
like
yeah.
he's Tony the Tiger. Like I don't know what's going on some of the poses he does.
That's crazy.
I'm
Yo,
just being
but
honest, man.
see, look, you always point out the ones you like the least, but like, come on, the
I'll
Spider
tell you which ones
Gwen,
I like the most. He
Spider
did a good job
Gwen,
on Spider-Man. He did a good job on Thanos.
Moon
He did a
Knight.
good job on Moon Knight and Ghost Rider, and that's it.
Yeah, those are nice.
Yeah.
No, I did a good job
He,
on the Iron Man. Iron
Iron
Man
Man.
with Silk as
oh yeah,
well.
that's right. With the Jets, when he's flying with the
Yeah,
Jets, that's right.
that's a nice one too.
Yeah. I think I've got the orange of that, and like I paid peanuts for it because nobody wanted it. The
Yeah.
Spider Gwen, the oranges
Oh,
are them. I paid peanuts. The silks, I would paid peanuts. The metallurgy silk, I paid a bit more for. I've actually just passed that on to the silk collector a few weeks
Mhm.
ago. I let it leave my hands. I was just gonna say I think people were sleeping on the metallurgy cards. Didn't realize that they could be quite. I always thought they could be really important. To be honest, if you
uh,
like, but
yeah. I think to your point, they should be worth where I at least value them as far as like other sets. You look at the Planet Metals, and they're 1 out of 15 golds, but they're engraved. These are hand number out of 25 in first year. So I think at the bare minimum, they should be worth what the golds are, if not more, because it's an older set. It's masterpieces over X-Men metal,
Yeah,
right? But
and
again,
the
the
hand number
market,
stuff, like how many sets are hand numbered like that? Marvel now has the ruby red hand numbered, and the 92 buybacks from 2016 are hand numbered. I don't
yeah, it's
know
not very
any
hand numbered
others
stuff.
outside of that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that's where I think they should be at. You know, and we need to start talking about some of that. Just that, I mean, I would like to just help people like think about some of these things before they buy them. One of the other episodes I kept bringing it up, but it just frustrates me when I see some of these sales and they're going for higher than other more prestigious older sets, higher
Yeah.
tier characters. But people are, it's the hype, like you said, or it's FOMO. People are buying into the new set, and now they're on annual.
It's
All of a
also
sudden,
lack of education. They just don't
yeah.
they haven't done the research. They just know what's popular at the moment.
But can you blame them to your point though, right? As well, like what Roberto was saying with all like the content. What is the content showing though? The content is showing just box breaks and opening those newer sets. So that's what the
Exactly.
people that are coming to the hobby are gonna think it's all about. Oh, I guess I have to get Fleer Ultra. Oh, I guess I have to go get annual because they're not showing them the older sets.
I know, but like if you've collected stuff along the years, then you already have some sense of going and trying to find a lot of information before you even purchase anything. Like before Marvel cards, I had collected, basketball cards. Before that, it was shoes. So when I first got in, I just went straight to where's the information. They had the MCCW podcast. They had over 100 episodes. I listened to all of those before I ever bought a card. Some people
Right.
just don't do
cheated.
that.
You cheated, Doom. You took the back door there, dude. I refused to listen to it on purpose. You know why?
Why?
Because we talked about this before the show. Because I already had been in Pokemon. I didn't want anybody else's advice. I didn't want to be
To
swayed
tell
by
you, yeah,
anybody
exactly.
else. I
Mm.
didn't mind watching a few bits. I liked it when I saw Elusive and I saw Justin at first and some other people, Gingy. Well, not so much Gingy because he talked about overpowering. I thought you fucking nuts. And
No,
I
that's
watched the
wild.
first bits of it, and uh, and then I watched Justin and Norrin talk about overpower, and then like I kind of shut off then, and I
Yeah,
just like went and did my own thing because I thought
do
I
your own
don't
thing.
agree with what the. I mean, don't get me wrong, like there were things that I learnt from it,
Mhm.
definitely things that I learnt from it, but I learnt a lot more through like just hunting eBay,
Mm.
watching somebody's Instagram, and looked at a card. and I believe in my eye more than
Yeah.
what somebody's telling me. So if I look
Telling
at a
you what to
card,
do. Yeah.
yeah, and I think that's fucking insane,
Yeah.
then I'm gonna research that card, not because somebody says to me, "That's worth 20 grand," because if you're gonna make any money, and trust me, I've made money buying and selling cards. We've had a shop, this, that, the websites, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
If you're gonna make money, you need to see what other people are not seeing. So you need to
Mhm.
look
Yeah.
where everybody else isn't shouting about.
Yeah.
And w we all know fucking hell, Doom, you're a specialist, aren't you? You know, at finding stuff that and you, Elusive, you both do it, don't you? You
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
find what other people are not interested in. You dig deep, like
Yeah. You
you
dig.
go hard on the research and like you're into it. It's
Yeah, man.
becomes
You
an
go to
obsession, a love.
foreign auction houses and just looking at stuff. Like it gets deep, but I guess for me, I listened to everything and I saw a lot of stuff because I just want to get the whole context, the whole history of Marvel that was out there. And it wasn't easy. You have to sit through there's a lot of stuff and a lot of opinions, but you try to gather all the information and then you go to eBay and you study the sales and you look at why was Doctor Doom blue PMG, red PMG, jambalaya? Why were they all sitting there under less than maybe a third of what Thanos was doing at the time? You know, it's just weird to me. Like, wait. Someone's overlooking this. Someone just left it here. Let me just start doing this. This is I could do this. This is attainable, right? Like Wolverine's gambits, they were all going crazy by then. And that was just the research. I didn't know if I didn't know too much about the what the 2013 Fleer Retro set was at the time, I would have never bought it and I would have missed the boat on any of it.
And to that point about research too, man, I want to say that, you know, and I always say this, so it might sound like a broken record, but collectors always have the edge because if you don't truly like what you're collecting or passionate about it, you're not going to put in those
That
hours
too.
because it's going to feel like work. You know, who's willing to open up eBay? And when I was new, I would just put Wolverine or Gambit or whatever saga I was into at the time, and I will look at the 10,000 results and scroll through
Oh,
10,000 results, right?
pages.
And then
Yeah.
also you'll start noticing, oh, this hasn't sold in the past 3 years. Like, why are they not that frequent, these sales? So then you start noticing patterns of that. And in reality, what you see a lot of nowadays, I don't want to mention IG accounts, but you guys all know that there's a lot of negative IG accounts that are mad about sales or mad about pumping Marvel and this and that, or they're saying that a lot of people are losing money in Marvel. The people that lost, let's be honest, the people that lost money in Marvel is because they got there late, they didn't do their research, and they just followed what other people were buying. Because, like Retro said, he's made money. I've made money with Marvel.
And they
I
were
don't
there to
lose money
make a
with
buck.
Marvel.
They
Yeah.
weren't collecting. They were there to make a dollar, and now you're
Yep.
losing, right? Like, but to what Retro said, like it does come back to your eye test and what you see. Like I'll show you this Retro. I didn't know the significance
Yes,
behind
there
this
we
card,
go.
right? The Just Go buyback hand number out of 15.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know
Mhm.
anything about it when I saw it. I knew about the PMGs and stuff, right? I bought it because
Mhm.
to me it's like hand numbered 15.
Mhm.
It seems important. Let me pay the 125, the 250. I forget how much I paid at the time. Let me just get it while I'm getting all this other stuff. Because I don't know if I'll see it again.
Mhm.
Well, that's the eye, isn't it? That's the eye.
Mhm.
That's like
Yeah.
the eye and the brain, and you've always got to have money in the background, no matter what collectible piece of art or whatever. You've got to have money in the background, and it doesn't. The focus doesn't need to be on money, but you've got to always
Mhm.
think resale value. You go out and buy a fucking Picasso tomorrow. You're not going to spend 10 grand on a Picasso that you can get for one of them that was made on the cruise ship for like $100, are you? Because
Yeah.
you got to be sensible. So besides needing the eye, you still need to do the research over the money.
Yeah.
And if
And
it's your money, don't trust any other fucker
mhm.
to. I mean, there's two things that kind of piss me off a bit when people say, "Right, oh well, Marvel cards are different because unlike sports cards, they can't do a cruciate ligament or something like that." So for that first instance, don't compare Marvel cards to sports cards because they're not. If you're coming into Marvel cards with that brain, if you're coming into Marvel cards with a Pokemon brain, it's a different ball game. Similar, but different. So don't. I'm a big believer in Marvel cards. I think they're their own entity and would not even scratch the surface. Once these cards go, eventually, when they go, they will fucking go. You know, up. When they shoot, when you look at serial numbered cards, once
Crazy.
they shoot up, they will fucking fly, and the prices will be, if they ever get there, they might not ever get there.
Yeah.
The prices will be astronomical. And then
Yeah.
the other thing you need to think about, and I do this all the time, and I never hear anybody say it, even though I buy what I love, I've had
Mhm.
stacks of vibranium. I've had stacks of Spider-Man. I'm not so much into 'em. Surfer I've never had because you can never find bloody Surfer.
Yeah.
Written out stuff I've had quite a lot of I didn't like. PMG's different iterations of Spider-Man. I'm not that bothered about. Venoms, I'm not that bothered about. You don't need to buy what you love. If you see something and your brain just goes like, "That's wrong, that. Why is that like $50?"
Yeah.
Mhm.
compared to a serial number, maybe it should be 1,000. Trust me, in Pokemon, and I told you boys a story about the Detective Pikachus and Charizards and that.
Yeah.
Any card sets, if you want to make money, if you see an opening and you've done your research good enough, even if you don't like the card, if you hate it and you just think, fuck me, somebody will buy these, somebody will love these. There's good money to be made
Yeah.
into cars that you don't like, but that comes down to research. So even though I spend the biggest money in things that I love, I do also buy things that I don't love.
Yeah.
So
And to
Because
your point,
look,
real quick, I was gonna say we all talk about the eye, right? And the eye is gonna help you with artwork. But the second one is intuition. Go with your gut.
exactly, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
if your gut tells you this is undervalued for whatever reason, and you just go for it. A lot of times, you question yourself, right? And I think to your point, what the research helps do is it helps you be more confident in your decision making. That's all that is,
Enforce it.
right? Because
It
you know,
enforces your gut, doesn't it?
yeah, and then you just go with it. I mean, because all the research is really doing is fine tuning your intuition.
right.
So yeah, that's how I feel about that. And to Retro's point, yeah, I mean, you know this. I picked up a lot of big Spider-Man cards, and I'm not planning on piecing Spider-Man for the most part. So but I
But
know
that
that it's a big character. To his point,
at the moment the opportunity presented and you could acquire it, and later on you could it could be your ticket to a trade or whatever you want to do with that. Yeah, you got to keep that in perspective. I try not to purchase a lot of stuff, but if I see something that's interesting, priced at an interesting price, that's when you shoot that link to your
Mhm.
homies, and someone else could capitalize off of that. Um, you know,
Someone brought. I forgot the guy's name. And he was early on when first everybody was picking up Marvel cards. He was a guy from the Bronx. You might remember the guy. He used
yeah,
to clown on people, but
I
he
remember.
was a big Amazon FBA guy, and he would reach out to me trying to get me to do Amazon, and I'm like, hey man, I enjoy collectibles. This is what I'm sticking to. But one thing he did say that he broke down is the truth, and nobody wants to describe it this way, but what we're really getting paid for when you're doing anything in the collectibles market is you're getting paid to correct the market. You're making market corrections, right? Because you know that this card shouldn't be worth $100. It should be worth 300. So guess what? You buy it for 100, and you wait until the market recognizes where you were able to identify 6 months to a year before the market identified. That's all we're doing.
Well, you
You
get
know,
paid for your time of research too,
correct? Yeah.
right? Like we talked about that. There's hundreds of hours, maybe more, people do, and just out of the passion for it, you could use that, to help fund and something else. Why not?
To your point, one of the biggest mistakes that I feel sports people do about how they try to treat it like sports is the multipliers they try to use for grades. Like they want, oh, it's a pop one, I want 5,000. It doesn't matter if it's a pop one. you're not. It's not the same hobby. Like you
Pop-Ones.
can't treat it. Grades matter a little bit less. I'm not saying grades don't matter, but as you guys know, there's a lot of cards that we'd all be happy just getting a 9 on the card. You don't need a 10 on every card.
No,
You
Lucy,
know?
I got 2 Pop-Ones right here, dog. I need like 5K each. Okay.
Well,
Got
I hear you. Good
Catwoman
luck
or
with
Riddler. All right.
Hey, good luck with that. I hear you. You know, you might get it again if you put it up. The
Yeah,
market
retro.
or
Like I
whatever.
need like a smooth 10K. You know, it's a Pop One. You know, you don't see this. You know, it's numbered at a 99. Come on, retro. You know you want that.
For all
Can I tell you
us who can't see the video, people Doom's just showing like Darkwing Duck cards. Go ahead, retro.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's keep it that way. Yeah.
Can I tell you my story? I tell everyone about
Yeah.
Pops and this, that, the other. Well, don't tell everyone, but so Pokemon Hidden Fates, which is the modern set that kind of brought Pokemon huge again.
Yeah.
Fuck me, 2018 maybe. I should know. I've ripped tons and tons and tons of it.
Yeah, it was
Thousands of
around
dollars
that
worth.
time because I know
It was.
sneaker YouTubers were starting to break Pokemon. That's how I knew it was like something's going on here. Yeah.
That's when it became big, didn't it? It was
Yeah.
coming big. So the Charizard, the SV49, that was somebody pulled that and sent it to Beckett, and it got a black label. And I could be completely wrong, but maybe it sold for 12K, 15K, something
Mhm.
like that, and it did well. So then Pokemon went nuts. Now I'm not saying that Beckett took a backhander or there was something involved in that. It maybe, maybe not. I have no idea.
Yeah.
So it filtered down, and the last time I looked, PSA 10 SV49 is the top card in the set. There was 4,000 PSA 10s. Now this card, even soon after, dropped from the black label's a different from
Yeah.
a PSA 10, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But even the PSA 10 soon dropped down once the pops went up. But they were standing at like maybe $1,500, $1,300 or whatever for a long time. There's now about 4,000 pop 10s, just pop 10s.
Yeah.
And I bet even with the slump now, and I haven't checked, I bet there's still about $800.
Mhm.
So pops don't always. I never follow populations on P. The only time I follow a population card is if I'm going to buy one. If I'm going to sell it, I don't. But
Yeah.
if I'm going to buy one and I'm following a population card, it needs to be like if I look at a comic book. I've got a Bianchi comic book behind me. From X-Men Metal, 9.8. Population might be 50, 60.
Mhm.
I've got the Scarlet Witch from X-Men Metal. Population might be 50. I don't. I've got population 20, 9.8 comic books that match cards. It isn't a big thing. So what I'm getting at is when they come up with this, like,
Yeah.
it's supply and demand, isn't it? That Charizard has held its fucking money. There's
Yeah.
4,000 of the fuckers. We've got Marvel cards that are going for big money, and there's not 4,000 of the card.
No. Yeah. It's,
Yeah.
You
So
need
what
to
does
be
that also say about
careful.
Marvel? You know?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if we could compare market sizes where Pokemon's at compared to even like comics, compared to like to diecast collectors. I think those are all like bigger for sure than Marvel, but I would like to know what the numbers are.
Like
You
even
know?
the DC HRO cards, I think like the most
Mhm.
rare, the mythics, there's over 4,000 of them though. You know, like you compare that to Marvel, it's a different game. It's just different. It's
And
super
then
limited.
and it's funny because we're talking about numbered cards and just or at least with the production runs and you go right now on eBay and there's plenty of Marvel cards out of 10 sitting at reasonable prices right now and people are just ignoring them for the most part at the
Yeah.
moment.
And then, someone like me who's had, 4 diamonds
Mm.
and just didn't give a shit about them in the end. Like it's just, it is what it is, you know?
Yeah.
I did the same, dude. I bought a ton of diamonds, sold them
Yeah.
all,
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
and they were kind of that popular in a sense as well, weren't they? It was like, oh yeah, even bars. I mean, vibranium bars, I didn't buy because I didn't like the look of them.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
got offered some, I got offered some even in the UK, and I wouldn't buy the Colossus one with a bundle because he wanted like $50 for the Colossus bar. And they said, "Well, I want to sell the bundle as the lot." I said, I don't want the bar. I like Colossus. Think
Yeah,
Colossus is cool, like and slept on. Love Colossus.
yeah.
But I just didn't like the bar, and like there was a saber tooth up for like ComC $50 for, and I didn't buy them because there was so much shit knocking about. You know what I mean? That
Yeah,
you
yeah,
didn't.
yeah.
You just thought, oh, I'm not even going to bother.
Mm.
Supply and demand, isn't it?
And that's
Yeah.
the unique
But
thing
when
about Marvel. Like it does, you know, it does come back to the art, man. Like some of that stuff is just the artwork has to be there.
Yeah, it does.
It's all about
and
preference too, you know. This is what
Yeah.
it is.
I believe so, and I've always wanted to collect uh comic books and cards. I've always wanted to match the two. I've always really wanted to collect comics more than cards, but because I was into Pokemon, and then because in the UK it's like comic books are really, really underground in the UK.
Hmm.
Not so much now, but it's like hard to find information and this, that, the other. But
Yeah,
now, because like I find people like yourselves and I watch what you two do, and like say Free and Sergio and who else? Valor Comics. Shout out to Valor Comics, Edith Comics, and
yeah,
Daniel.
there'll be other people that I'm missing. Yeah,
yeah,
there'll be other people that I'm missing, but I'm kind of now transitioning from cards into comics. You
yeah.
know, because I'm transitioning more into the artwork
And
personally. You
for
know,
me, it's also like the research, right? Like a card, there's only so much research you can do, and you find the card, and then
on the
it's it.
card.
It's
Yeah,
over, right? In the books,
yeah.
man, there's so many stories I haven't read. Like there's so much knowledge there that's my favorite part is just to learn about stuff. So yeah, I'm doing the same thing. I'm just going back to the books and trying to get a foundation of what the early Kirby Doom stuff, early Fantastic Four, that era.
And I think it's just a natural progression, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with cards, but what happens, like it's happening to all three of us, is that we've already amassed so many cards that we're happy with what we were able to attain and we're going to keep, right? We're going to sell off what we don't want to keep
Yeah,
and
yeah.
use it to fund the next thing that we're interested in going into, you know? But again, there's
Well,
nothing wrong with cards. I still love a lot of my cards. Like, they're still,
mm,
I'm going to have a hard choice deciding which ones I want to let go. But, to your point, I think that's another thing that you have doing where what you just mentioned, like you research something, once you kind of like conquer that for the most part, you want to go on to the next thing.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You want to just keep going and just keep
A-
learning, and
and
it's
who
fun.
knows, right? Like maybe going into comics, maybe I have a better appreciation for some of these cards that
Hmm.
I recognize the artwork. I would recognize what book it comes from, the significance. You might come back and grab a couple. Like
Hmm.
it's just I I hear a lot of people who've reached out to us and just say like they're in a similar situation or they reached a point where they're kind of good with the Marvel cards and new ones are coming in. Some people are excited, but a lot of us are like, okay, we've seen enough of these, and we're looking at other stuff right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
same thing with go ahead, Rachel. My bad.
I was just gonna say like the first thing that really interested me as soon as I found out that there were like comic covers and cards and like they were using the artwork and that. That was like the first thing to me. I was like, oh shit, yeah, I can buy like a
yeah,
comic book in a small form. This is something I can just buy off
yeah,
eBay easily, and I was just like, that's what did it for me. And then I saw artwork, and I thought, oh fuck, look at this artwork, and it was like, yeah.
yeah,
But it was comics
Hey,
I was really into. Not it. I don't know. I kind of fell into it. I was just kind of falling out of Pokemon and
yeah,
wanting something different because, and then just
yeah,
like got into. But it was really comic books and art that I was into all along.
yeah. That
To
was
be
your
fair, like
main interest. Yeah, I was coming off of
yeah,
basketball
yeah.
cards, and I was like, well, I just want to look at art, and then I went into that, and I was always intimidated by the comics. I didn't grow up with them, so I have no
Me too.
knowledge of
Yeah,
them,
me
right?
too.
And that kind of opened the door to comics, and then going that direction now.
And on that note as well, I mean, one of the things, because we do talk about all the cool stuff or all the good things about jumping into comics or original art, but I will say one of the downsides that I keep looking into that I hesitate, especially more so with comics, is shipping. We forget how easy it is to ship a card. Cards are super easy
Yeah.
to ship.
Yeah.
Comics is a different level.
It
Original
is
art,
different.
that's another one, right? And
And
also just
storage. Sorry, as well. By the way,
Yeah.
storage.
yeah, you run out
That
of
too.
storage. Also, I don't know about you guys, but even when I sell like a $300, $400, $500 card, I add signature tracking to that. Now imagine, and I'm waiting to see when they got the card. Now imagine if you're moving an original piece for like $5,000. Now you're
No
like,
God.
10 grand. Now, you know what I mean? There's more added stress to that too.
Nah, if
So
you're buying original art, you just have a plan. You're gonna keep it for like 10 years minimum. Just don't just buy it. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's
Don't
not
buy
a
original
quick
art.
flip.
Yeah,
It might be right for
yeah,
people who've experienced in it, but no, I'm definitely not approaching it that way. No.
yeah. What about you, Retro? Are you thinking about original art yourself, or you're more leaning in towards like comics for now?
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, like I said, Tree and Sergio Crypto
Yeah,
sent me some cool links, and I'm just like, oh shit! But I've always wanted original art. I've always
yeah,
that I go back to, and I'm sure like your show's running on a bit now. Where we started to the Warner Brothers. So to me, so even like I said before, I'm not huge into Spider-Man, but I still love Spider-Man. I still love the nostalgia. So to me, the Warner Brothers store and the Batman animation, it doesn't have to be Batman,
yeah,
but I saw like comic pages then, and they just blew my mind when I was 16. And
yeah,
it was just like, oh, I wish I could know about these comics. I wish I could own
yeah,
some animation cells. I wish I could own some animation sketches. And I think it's just never left me.
yeah,
And,
Yeah,
that's what I'm heading towards, yeah,
yeah, definitely.
100%. But the problem is in the UK as well, we can get, like, a lot of Judge Dredd 2000 and AD, so I'm still gonna have the same hurdles as buying cards. But that's all
Hmm.
good, that's cool. It's part of it, I suppose, I
Yeah,
live with that, it's fine.
you could always solve all your issues and come move to the U.S.
Yeah, I'd like to, yeah.
That'd be fun, man.
yeah, man. Let's do some shout outs for sure. And for me, this week Mario Annual was what was that 2 weeks ago? Or we just started seeing them this week, no? The
Yeah,
cards. So
Yeah, this week, I think.
personal shout out to all the homies who I have like small therapy sessions with this week about kind of reaching that point in cards where I'm like, this isn't exciting. So shout out to Elusive, Sergio, Fausto, Free, Vic, everybody. Like, it's good to chat with the people that your circle when you're thinking of ideas or what you're gonna do next. For sure, make sure you have a nice little circle of people you can trust. Hope retro. You know, in the future, we should talk some more because obviously, we get along. But
yeah,
Yeah, cool, yeah.
definitely, people offer different opinions, and it kind of makes you decide what you want to do. Shout out to Miles, Subby
mm,
Collector. Had a conversation
yeah.
with him too. So absolutely.
Crazy ASM 300 cut. Shout out to Subby,
Oh
yeah,
my
for sure.
God, gorgeous, gorgeous cut. And Retro brought him up in the episode. Shout out to Swami. He put up the Venom and the Spider Gwen, those diamond cards or the Marvel Gems cards.
Yeah,
I never seen the Spider Gwen before. Crazy. I think it's 5 out of 5.
yeah.
But
The
it
artwork is
just
crazy. The
it's
diamonds
see
or the
that's a
mines.
shiny card I don't mind having. That's a nice one. Shout out
Yeah,
to him.
yeah. Shout out to Swami, man. Even hey, Swami, shout out to you, man. We couldn't make the hollow deal happen, but shout out to you, Swami.
For sure.
How about you, Retro? Any shout outs for you?
I've got a shout out to Blue Collectibles. Nice.
Yeah.
For helping me out on the podcast. Uh,
Awesome
I
episode,
I
man.
just
It
I
was
give a
great.
shout out to anybody. I give a shout out to anybody who doesn't want to live their lives in drama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is me done. I mean, Doom's mentioned a lot of the people I would have shouted out anyway, and
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
tons of people I'd love to shout out, but anybody who I interact with, you got to understand, but that I look to Instagram and I like things and this, that, the other, and I don't always recognise. I recognise who you are. I don't always remember the name. That's not
Yeah.
like me being a cunt. I just don't. But
Yeah.
shout out to anybody who doesn't cause drama and the Mexican mafia. Big shout out to the Mexican mafia.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah. Thanks, Retroverse, man. Yeah, shout out to what Retroverse said. That's true, man. Shout out to anybody that's not about drama, that's not about politics. That you talk to who you talk to because you're a man and you decided to talk to this person, not because your dad or uncle told you can't talk to them. So, shout out to you guys and thanks for joining us again, Doom.
For sure.
Thanks again for making it tonight, man. And Retro.
Yeah, who knows? I'll make it next week. It's a week-to-week basis with me. So yeah.
Yeah, we just enjoy the present. You know what I mean? We don't worry about tomorrow. You guys have a good one.
Peace.
Later.